I've got a pretty large news story for you guys today about crypto.com and another major advancement for this crypto exchange. On top of that, a little bit of a warning for the CRO token holders. Yeah, we've got good news for crypto.com, which could help the price of CRO, but on the macro side of things, there are two things that I'm looking out for right now, as we need to hone in on what is coming up for altcoins ahead of the FOMC meeting later today and some of the other news stories we're seeing break right now. Welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I am Crypto Kip. Do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more content, and turn on your notification bell. Let's get into this, guys. Looking at Bitcoin today, hanging out around the $104,000 price level after getting a little bit of a more significant dip last night. We're kind of rallying back up ahead of this FOMC meeting that comes out later today, and I'm going to be live streaming this for you guys in just 2 hours from the time of this recording right now, which I'm going to post this as soon as I'm done recording this video. But let's look at this big story from Crypto.com. Blackrock in a headline with Crypto.com today. For those of you guys that aren't already aware of this, I'm sure you are. BlackRock's the largest asset manager on planet Earth right now. The BlackRock BUIDL fund is now being accepted as collateral on crypto.com and another exchange, Deribit. So this is a $2.9 billion fund, which is now powering on-chain trading with yield stability and institutional support. This is a big deal, guys. The fund has been approved as collateral on both Crypto.com and Deribit, two leading global exchanges. This marks a key step for tokenized U.S. treasuries as they move into core trading infrastructure, Crypto.com being one of the first to enable this with this BlackRock Build Fund. The decision enables capital efficiency by offering users a stable, yield-bearing asset as an alternative to traditional collateral. This is just more availability for large investors, institutional investors, to get involved in this crypto market using assets that they currently have, which are in this fund perhaps. Now they can tap into crypto.com and do some trading using that as collateral. I think it's absolutely excellent for crypto.com. And a very big story. This is for all trading services, including spot, margins, derivatives, and over-the-counter markets. This integration applies to institutional clients in select jurisdictions. As always, they tend to start where, if you go back to it, Crypto.com exchange was first launched for the institutions, and then it was rolled out to more regular folks like you and me. When you do look at this news as it's rolling out, what we've seen is historically, they kind of do these in bite-sized pieces. They started with that institutional exchange, and then they rolled it out for the regular users. Now we're kind of seeing this build a fund used as collateral. Eventually, I saw a story recently as well that JP Morgan is going to allow the BlackRock Bitcoin ETF shares used as collateral for their services. There's so many things like this coming, guys, and just showing you the continued adoption for crypto assets and integration with the institutional clients. This is the institutional adoption we've been talking about in crypto for so many years, and this is such a huge story. On top of that, we also have them developing more use case for utility, trying to improve the Cronos blockchain, that Cronos chain where CRO is the utility token for it. Chris, the CEO, I was looking if he put out a tweet yet about this BlackRock news. Not yet. I'm sure he'll be tweeting about it later. But I want to circle back to this because in addition to this BlackRock news, I want to remind you guys, they are still working on the Cronos chain, just moving everything forward for this company, leaving me excited for the future of the token. But as I'm excited about this bullish news, I am a little skeptical of what comes next in this market. As you can see, looking at Yahoo Finance, some of the top stories for the day, everybody's looking at the Fed and what's going to be said later today during the FOMC meeting. Again, I will be live streaming that for you guys if you want to check it out. Subscribe, turn on your notification bell. I'm live streaming these FOMC meetings every chance I get. Looking at some of the other headlines, Wall Street hates this rally. Stocks are back near record highs, but Wall Street isn't exactly buying it. Why? What is going on? Well, there's still conflict happening in the Middle East. That is something. Looking at, here's this headline. The president's tone shift raises prospect of U.S. intervention in Iran. That is causing a little bit of a global uncertainty and a little bit of confusion in the markets as to why the prices are kind of near all-time highs and why the S&P is up today, as we have two things. Conflict in the Middle East, where maybe the U.S. is getting involved, which wouldn't necessarily be the best for markets. And two, we have the Fed not lowering the rates today. That is a fact at this point. You can just look at it and see 99% chance are the odds of no rate cut. And unfortunately, guys, regarding altcoins and CRO, as you go into December, there's a 6% chance we don't have a rate cut then, and October, a 17% chance that we don't have a rate cut, and now September, a 33% chance that we don't have a rate cut. Still, about a 8 or a 70% chance that we do get some kind of rate cut. But we've been kind of seeing the odds of a rate cut going the wrong way. Why do we need a rate cut? This is something I've talked about a lot, because historically, guys, the rate cuts signal a bullish catalyst for risk on assets, and that's exactly what crypto is. It was recently at all-time highs. Our total market cap was, but we are stalling out here just ever so slightly around this $3 trillion level, kind of right now bouncing off support, and we could certainly find a level of support somewhere in here for a bounce. But in the short term, people are fearful for what the Fed's going to say today. People are fearful for what's happening in the Middle East, and this is something to keep an eye on. Additionally, guys, regarding altcoins and CRO, as Bitcoin dominance continues to climb up, it's going to be hard to see a rally for the altcoins and the risk-on assets like CRO. Now, CRO coin is getting a little bit of a bounce off this key trend line that I've had drawn for the last few weeks, and we'd like to see that. I would like to see CRO coin hold around this 8.5 cent level. I think that it certainly can. But if Bitcoin starts breaking below $100,000, there is a chance that we start slipping back down to the 7-cent range, and it's something to keep an eye on. If you want to trade this volatility, that's exactly what we've been doing, me and Black Sea both. Trading a little bit of CRO, a lot of XRP and Dogecoin and Pepe trades, a lot of Bitcoin trades I've been keeping my eye on. Actually, right now in a Bitcoin short with a stop loss set, I'll be sharing with you guys later in my live stream this afternoon. But I am trading these markets, and if you want to trade as well, you can do so on an exchange called Blowfin. You can sign up using the link in the description down below, up to a $5,000 deposit bonus if you sign up using our link. So check that out if you haven't done so already. Why Blowfin over crypto.com? Well, the fees are a lot lower on Blowfin as opposed to crypto.com. I like to use crypto.com to kind of go from my bank account into crypto and from my crypto back to my bank account. It's the best for that, in my opinion. But when it comes to actually trading, active trading, I really like using Blowfin. You can do spot buys there. You can do leverage trades there. And I've really found it as a useful tool in gaining more profit as I am trying to kind of build my hold positions by making profit, taking that profit, adding it to my long-term positions, as I still think we've got a lot of bull market left. But there's no doubt we've been getting held back because Bitcoin dominance is still going up. There's still some global uncertainty regarding tariffs and now this conflict in the Middle East, and it's something to keep an eye on. Very bullish news about Blackrock today for crypto.com. I wanted to share with you guys, give you a couple price warnings as I see it. Looking at still maybe another move down to that trend line for CRO that we just talked about. But I'd like to see us hold above that 8-cent level. Of course, if Bitcoin slips a little lower, we got to be prepared for some volatility, and that's what I'm looking at today. I'm not a financial advisor. Of course, nothing we ever say in these videos is financial advice, but I want to give you guys the latest as I see it in the market today. Smash your like, subscribe to the channel, DCA Hodl. Of course, I'll see you in the next one, guys. 2 videos here if you want to check them out. In the next one, guys. Peace.